Hello everyone. Hope you are all doing good. Today we are here to discuss grade 4 math. The chapter name today we discuss that is number sense, the very first chapter for grade 4. And these are all the lessons. Convert between place values, word names for numbers, Roman numerals, prime and composite numbers, rounding. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudent.com. You have to log in by using their email and password that is provided by the administrator. Select the maths from the subject app. There are and now scroll down, go to the grade 4 maths. Here are the list of the chapter, list of the lesson so you can click. So for example, today we discuss the first lesson, very first lesson that is number sense. So I'm going to click this one and now here the list of the lessons. So the lesson which we first today start that is convert between the place values. So here we convert between the place values. So look at here. For example, in the first one, they are saying that so this is basically thousands. So how many thousands in 9,000 ones? It means that if you have a 9,000 ones, so how many thousands in it? Okay. Now, basically, you work out how many thousands that you can make from 9,000 ones. So, count it by thousand. So, it means that if you have 900 ones, then it makes 9,000s. Okay. So, if for example, like if they are saying that 2,000 ones, how it makes the thousand? So, it means that 2,000 becomes 2,000 ones. Okay. So in this way, we are going to say that if you have 500, so how many tens in it? Okay. If you have 500s, so how many tens in it? So it means that it has 50 tens. Okay. So this is basically the thing. If you have a now we are going to work out for 7,000 ones. So how can you make it for from 7,000 ones to thousands? So count it by thousands. Okay. If you have a 7,000 ones, it means that you make 7,000s. Okay. Now for the next one, check it out. Solve how many 10 tens, how many hundreds in it. If you have, like for example, now we are going to work out how many hundreds you can make from 10 tens. So counted by hundreds. So as we know that if you have a 10 tens, so it means that it becomes 100. And if you have a 100 tens, it means it becomes 10 hundred. Okay. You're not including the zeros. So how many hundreds making the 2000s? As we know that 20 hundreds. Okay, so how many hundreds? 20 hundreds makes the 2000s. Okay, in this way we are going to solve it one by one all the questions. Now there is 900. So how many ones in it? It means that you are going to put it down. Like for example, if they are saying that simple 900. Okay, so how many ones in it? It's 9,001 in it. Okay. And if they are saying that, like for example, if you have like 500 ones, So how many hundreds in it? Only this digit we are saying that 5. This is 5, it's not 6, okay? All right. Now if I'm going to write it down here, now you guys tell me the answer of this one. So how many thousand? Everyone tell me the answer. Everyone tell me the answer of this one, please. Take out your notebook and pencils and solve this question over there and just tell me the answer in the chat. Do it fast. Who can tell me the answer of this one? This is so easy. That's for the previous one. Tell me the answer of this one now. 7,001. So how many thousand in it? There are 7,000 in it. Okay? Not much, not less. 7,000 in it. Okay. If I'm going to write it down here, so how many hundreds? It's 700 ones. So how many hundreds in it? Everyone tell me the answer of this one, please. So that is 7. Okay? It's 7 hundreds in it. Now let's do some test questions for that. So if there are 50 tens, so how many hundreds in it? 5 hundreds in it. If you have a 4,000, it means that how many hundreds in it? That means 40. Sometimes you're including 0 and sometimes you're not including any kind of 0 with it, okay? If you have a 2,000, it means that how many ones in it? 4,500, 3,000 or 2,000? This one, okay? If you have a 9,000, so how many tens in it? It means that if you have a 900 tens in it. All right? Okay, now you solve the rest of the question by yourself now. 700 ones, it means that it has only 7 hundreds. Now let's move the next lesson. You can practice these questions as well now, okay? So you guys solve the rest of all the question by yourself. Word numbers, word names for numbers. So if you have some numbers like this way, look at here. It's like, how do you write this number using digits? So it's 73. So we check it out. You are just going to put it down, like for example, if you have a number, I'm going to write some examples here, then you guys tell me the answer. If you have a number like this way, what is this number? Type it in the chat. What is that one? It's 79. Okay. And if I'm going to say that here is the number, sorry, I'm going to write down the number in words, okay? Okay, now you guys type it in the chat. What is this number? Everyone. Yeah, good. Tell me, it's 24. Okay. Now if I'm going to write down, very well done everyone. Okay, if I'm going to write down here, so what is this number? This one, and everyone type it in the chat. Everyone tell me the answer of all these. Okay, where is 24? Okay, it's 16. Good. What's the next? What is this one? This is 20. That is 35. What is this one? That is good. 8. And this is 22. Very well done, everyone. Okay, all right. If I'm going to write it here, so let's back to the questions. Practice question. How do we write this number using words? That is 400. So you just write down the spellings FOUR 4. And what are the spelling of 100? HUNDRED. So it becomes 400. Okay, now let's do the test questions. How do you write this number using words? 501. So it's 501. What is this one? 501. So what is the spelling? The first option is 505 and the second option is 501. So which option is right? Which option is right? Everyone tell me in the chat. Good. Very well done. Now tell me, how do you write this number using digits? 335. It's 300 and then it's 35. 335. Which one is right option? Good. Okay, now tell me this one. Next. How do you write this number using digit? 828. Option A or option B? So tell me everyone, option 2, that is 828. How do you write this number using digits? 990. What is it? It's 980 or 990? Second, option A or option B? So it's 990, option B. Good. Okay, solve this one. How do you write this number using words? What is the right one? It's 500. That is 500. So what are the spellings for 500? Do you all know the spellings of 500? Everyone can write down on their notebook and then tell me the answer, okay, in the chat. So this is the option A, 500. How do you write this number using digits? 21. It's 3 5 or 2 1. Which one is the right answer? It's 2 1. Okay. How do you write this number using words? 946. So check it out. What are the spellings for 946? Do it. So it's 946. Yeah, it's option B. Good. Hope you guys solve the rest of all the questions by yourself. Okay. Now let's do the next lesson. That is Roman numerals. So first of all, let me tell you how to write the Roman numerals 1 to 10. Okay. So look at here. Let's write it together. Okay. So here it's 1. It's 1. So for 1, it's 1 line. For 2, it's like 2 lines. For 3, it's like 3 lines. And for 4, it's different I and V. For 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This is also the different. For 5, it's only V. For 6, it's 5 plus 1. What is 5? This is V and 1 is I. For 7, it's 5 plus 2. So 5 is V and 2 is 2 lines. For 8, it's 5 plus 3. So what is 5? That is V plus 3. For 9 and 10, for 9, it's IX and for 10, it's X. This is basically the things from 1 to, we just gonna write it down 1 to 10. This is the Roman numerals. Okay. For example, if I'm going to say that, now let's gonna finding it out. Mm, 13. What does it mean? It means that 10, you always basically split this 13 into the two digits. Because we don't know the 13. So how can we write down? Because we know the 1 to 10. So we can make it 10 plus 3. Okay. So it's for 10 it's X and for 3 it's 3 I's. Now you got it? Okay, now I'm going to write it and you guys tell me. Okay, the answer of this one. What is 16? It's 10 plus 6. Okay, everyone tell me the answer. Quickly, everyone. Everyone tell me the answer of this one. So for 10 it's x, and for 6 it's, as we know that it's v and I. That's why I'm saying that you're going to write only memorize 1 to 10, then you are able to understand the remaining. Okay, very well done everyone. Okay, now let me write something else like 18. It means that it's 10 plus 8. As we know that what is 10, that is x, what is 8, that is v triple I. Okay, in this way we are going to write it down. Now 20 is same just like 10 plus 10. 30 is same just like 10 plus 10 plus 10. But here the 40 is different and 50 is different. What is 50? That is L. What is 40? So what's for the 40? That means which is something is subtraction. So 10 is subtract from this 50. Understand? 10 is subtraction from this 50. Now, if I'm going to write it down here, 60. So what does it mean? 50 plus 10. What is 50? It's L and 10 is X. Same for the 70. We are going to write it down. That is 50 plus 20. What is 50? That is L. What is 20? That is X and X. Now for 80, it's also same. That is 50 plus 30. So 50 is L, 30 is 3x. Now here is different from the 90 and 100. So for 90 and 100, 100 is your C and 90 is your 10 is subtracted from C. Okay, 10 is subtracted from C. Now for the 500, it's D, and for the 1000, it's M. Now you're going to check all of it, the Roman numeral 1 to 10. Firstly, I'm going to write 1, 2, and 3. These are same. Only 4 and 5 is different. Check it out for one time, this thing. Now for the second, it's 5 to 10. So 5 is like V. So starting from 6, it's 5 plus 1. Then next is 5 plus 2. Next is 5 plus 3. And for 9 and 10, it's different. Okay, 9 is represented with 1x and 10 is represented with x. Understand? Now if we're gonna write down, like for example, this thing like, now for the 40 and 50, 30 is same, 20 is same, 10 is same, like you are just going to add up 10 10. Okay, for 20 you are going to add 10 plus 10. For 40, for 30 you are going to add 10 plus 10 plus 10. Now for 40 and 50, look at for 40. 40 is basically 50 minus 10. So 50 is change, as we know that your 50 is like L and your 40 is like 10 is subtracted from the L, that is XL. Now for the 60, 70, 80, that represent 50 plus 10, 50 plus 20, 50 plus 30. Now for the 90 and 100, 100 is represented with the letter C, capital letter C. And now for the 90 is 10 is subtracted from the C, then it becomes total 90. Okay. Now for 500 and 1000, it's also same. For 500 it's D and for 1000 it's M. Hope you guys understand this one. You also write it down all these things on your notebook. This is very important thing. Okay, now let's do the test part. Okay, now let's do the test. Okay, now you guys tell me. What number does this Roman numeral represent? What number? It's X, 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 and V. Let's write it here. It's X, 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 and V. One X represents 10 plus 10 plus 10, and V represent plus 5. 10, 20, 30, and 35. So the answer here I got it, which is 35. Let's just check. Is there any 35? Yes. Option B. Let's move with it. Yeah, this is the right answer. Okay. Now here, what is it? V represents for 5, and there are two lines that represent 2. So 5 plus 2 is 7. Okay. Now for this question, how do you write 23 as a Roman numeral? So let's get right 23. Okay, let's do it 23 for. For 23, it's represent 20 plus 3. And what is 20? Double X. And what is 3? 3 lines. So let's check. 20 and 3 lines. Yes, option 3. Good. So what number does this Roman numeral represent? All of you tell me. Double X and V. So which one? It's double X and V. So here 10, 20, and 25. Okay. So how would you write 34 as a Roman numeral? So let's just check. How would you write 34? If I'm going to write it down here 34, it means that 30 plus 4. So what is 30? 10 plus 10 plus 10. And 4 is IV. So 3x IV. Where it is? Yeah, it's here. Okay, hope you guys understand this lesson as well. So now let's just discuss the next part, okay? Solve the rest of the question by yourself. So here we done these three. Now let's move to the prime and composite numbers. So first of all, let me tell you guys what is basically the prime numbers, okay? For example, prime numbers are the numbers which are only divisible by itself. Understood? So what are the prime numbers? Prime numbers are basically the numbers that are divisible by only one and the number itself. Okay? Divisible by only one. And you can say that the number itself. For example, in other words, you are saying that it's a positive integers and exactly two factors. For example, there you can say that if I'm going to write it down here like 5, okay, here is 5 is a prime number. Why the 5 is prime? Because 5 is only divisible by itself. It cannot be divided by any other number. Like you are not using 2, 3, you are not using any other numbers like 4, like 3, like 2, anyone, any number, sorry. So, okay, if let me write it here some prime number, then you are more able to get it, okay? Let me just write it here. Some prime numbers. It's 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37. Okay, like in this way you are going to, because these are the numbers which are only divided by itself, no other number is divided. That means this is called the prime numbers. And now what are the composite numbers? Now just I'm going to write it down, the composite numbers, okay? So for the composite numbers, you can say that this is a positive numbers, or you can say that a positive integers, which like basically with other than one or itself, a number that is not a prime. Or you can say that a whole number having at least three factor or any other factor, you can say that more than two factors. That's it. Okay. You need to memorize that thing for composite numbers. Let me just write it for the composite numbers. So here are numbers. So what are the composite numbers? The composite are basically have more than two factors. Numbers defined as number that have more than two factors. So this is called the composite numbers as more than two factors. Okay, so these numbers are basically called the composite numbers. Okay, so now let's get just start. For example, like how the number which is 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20, like up to so on. Okay, so these are basically called the say that composite numbers. Okay, now for example, let's some questions for here. Is 4 a prime number or composite number? So look at here, 4. 4 has basically more than two factors. So it can, you can say that it has more than two factors. So it's not a prime, it's a composite number. Because in the composite numbers, more than have two factors, and the number is neither prime nor composite. The number 1. 1 is, you can say that neither prime or nor composite. Okay. And what is for the prime number? Prime number has only two factors. Composite two factors, and is only two factors. Like for factor of 2, it's 2 and 1. That can only be divided by 1 and itself. Okay. So 8, here is 8. 8 a prime number or composite numbers? 8 has more than factors, so you can say that 8 is not a prime number, composite number. Okay. Is 3 a prime number? So 3 is a prime number because why? Because the 3 which is only two factors, and we can say that yes, it's a prime number. Okay, let's do some test questions. 1 is a prime number. So if they're talking about for, sorry, here where it is, I go to the test. Okay, so for, as we know that 1 is not, like you can say that it's not a number. Okay, no. Okay, tell me the answer of this one. Everyone tell me the answer of this one. This time I'm not telling. I already explained this question as example. Faster, everyone. You don't know? Everyone tell the chat. That is so easy. So 3 is a prime number? Yes, 3 is a prime number. Okay? So 6 is a prime number? No, 6 is not a prime number. So we can say that. Or 5 is a prime number? Yes, it's a prime number because it can only be divided by itself and it has not more than two factors. It has exactly two factors. Okay? 9 is a prime number? No, 9 is a composite number because 9 has more than two factors. Like 3 is 3 times 9, 9 is 1 times 9. So it's 1 is also the factor. So it's no. Okay, now you solve the rest of the test questions by yourself. Hope you guys understand this lesson as well. Now let's discuss the last lesson, then we'll finish. It's rounding. So, what is basically now here we are going to let me tell you one thing firstly. This is ones, tens, hundred. Okay, and here is the question, that is 17,268. And they are saying they're rounded to the nearest hundred. Where is the hundred place? First is ones, tens, and hundred. So you can basically round it out to. You round it out to, but you check the number which is this one, 6. If 6 is greater than 5, so this can be changed. You are going to add up with 2. If this 6 is less than 5, so you are not going to add up with 2 and the number is moved to the back. So there is 6 which is greater than 5. So 2 can be changed into 3. So it means that 17300 is your answer. Okay. Now like for example, if I'm going to write it here a question. 13,590 and rounded to the nearest 100. This is ones place, tens place, and hundred place. It means that we're going to round out this number. Okay. We are just going to round it out by this number with that number. So how can we write it down? Basically, how can we round it down? So we check that number 9. This 9 is greater than 5, so it means that you're going to add up with 13,600. This is your answer. Okay. So let's do one more. 2,380,000 and 050. Round to nearest 10,000s. Where is 10,000 place? Ones, tens, 100,000 and 10,000. 8. 8 is basically you are going to round out 8. Okay. You hold had 8, but you check that number which is here 0. It's 0. It means that it's less than 5. So when it's less than 5, your number moves to the same thing like 2 3 8 double the next 0 0 and 0. Okay. All right, if I'm going to write it down here one question, then we can solve it out together. Let's do, I think so, some test questions. So let's do that test once. So what is 2,099,209,309 rounded to the nearest million? You're going to round out the 2. Okay, this 2 is in the millionth place, like 1, 10, 100,000, 10,000, and that is 0. Okay, 1, 10, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000, and million 2. So this can be 2 and there is 0, so it can be changed into I just hope like this is the answer. Yes, that is here. Okay, 5,092 592,617. 592,617 rounded to the nearest tenth. What is the tenth place? 1 is in the tenth place. You check 7. This is 7 that is greater than 5. So this can be changed into 592 620. Not 4620. Okay. All right. Hope you got this lesson as well. What is 673 rounded to the nearest hundred? Ones, tens, or hundred. You are going to round out 6. Check the previous number, that is 7, which is greater than 5. So it can be changed into 700. Okay, now you solve the rest of the questions by yourself. Hope you guys understand this lesson as well. So today we discussed the chapter name, that is number sense, and here are the list of the lessons. First lesson today we covered, that is convert between place values, word names for numbers, Roman numerals, prime or composite numbers, and rounding. Now you guys make sure before starting the next session you can practice all these questions, all these basically test questions as well. And still, if you need help in any question, then you can contact tutors on Skype that are available Monday to Friday, 5 to 9 p.m.